Hey y'all, so I am back again with a New York review. This is episode 3. You know what? I should put a shirt on. 1 second. Anywho, the ladies are still in the Hamptons at Ramona's beautiful compound. It's really that big. And it's the day after that little backyard party they had, like the whole Burning Man thing, and they were like screaming into the night. Yeah, so it's the next day, and all the ladies are just waking up. Now we're with Ramona and Sonja in the same room. It looks like they're kind of surprised that Ebony is fitting in really well with the group, low-key. That's what I'm reading from what they're saying. They didn't say that, but that's what I'm reading from their conversation. Like, oh yeah, I'm so surprised Ebony was just, so open with us. So next we see Luann going into Ebony's room, and Luann's just asking, oh, where'd you go the other night? You did an Irish goodbye. I didn't know that phrase was so well known, but maybe that's like, well known amongst white people. I've never heard it. I'm gonna start using it now though. I mean, they be using all our shit. The cameras even cut back to Ramona and Sonja talking about where did Ebony go last night? I mean, it just seemed like she was just tired, that's all. Like, it's her first season, she just getting to know y'all, and y'all is a rowdy bunch. Ebony is just explaining to Luann that there was really no issue of her like going in early. She was just done for the night. But she did say that the other day was a lot. And one of those examples is Ramona referring to her hospitality director as the help. So of course Luann is saying, well, I mean, that's just how Ramona is, and I mean, that doesn't make it okay. These women are used to Ramona being disrespectful and agony to be around. Even the producers, they're reminding us throughout the seasons, the years that she's been on this show. Then we see Ebony explaining to Luann why it's such a trigger to her, because her grandmother, who we know she's very close to, was domestic all her life for a white family. And being referred to as the help historically, means less than. Now, Luann responds saying that Ramona doesn't mean it racially at all. And I mean, how are we supposed to know that, I mean, I do like Ramona for the show, but, I just think the woman is ignorant and ill-informed. Ebony says in her confessional that, she wants to like Ramona. Ramona has been very pleasant, but she definitely wants to let Ramona know how she feels. And we all can't wait to see how that turns out. So a little time goes by and the ladies are all getting ready to go to the winery. Leah goes into Ramona's room in her outfit for the day, and the reaction that Ramona has. Woo! Like, exactly like that. And you know what? I actually agree with Ramona. Leah looks a hot mess. She has been trying too hard this season. I don't know why, but she's wearing like a barrage of patterns. She's wearing one pattern up here, and then she's wearing a camo/leopard combination pants and some black heels. It's just too much. You got me agreeing with Ramona, girl. Ramona is just roasting her in her bathroom right now. She's even giving her suggestions to change. She's like, you really going out there with me looking like that? Because we know how Ramona is, because the Hamptons is her turf. So if she's taking Leah somewhere, Leah is a reflection of Ramona, and that's how she sees it. Oh, Lord, Leah, I just saw the cheetah print belt. It's too much. It is like a throw up of different prints right now. Yeah, I can see Ramona saying, yeah, you can walk 3 feet ahead of us. We'll be right behind you. I am loving Ebony's outfit, this whole monochromatic number, and the Birkin. The Birkin. It's nice, girl. Luann just introduced herself to the bus driver. It's like, hello, my name's Luann. And Sonja immediately clocks that. She's like, oh, how far we've come. And then production reminds us how Luann's first season, when Bethany introduced her to the driver, she was like, oh no, it's Countess de Lesseps or Mrs. de Lesseps. He's a driver. I'm so glad that Luann has evolved. I really am. I wish I could say the same thing about Ramona. So as they're on the bus, Luann is telling all the ladies about her new man, Garth, and Sonja looks so bothered by it. I mean, Sonja never has a problem with the men, so why is she being a hater right now? And honestly, every season when Luann finds a new guy, she always gets all gushy and can't stop talking about him. I mean, who can forget when she met Tom? I'm like, oh my gosh, she would mention this man's name at least 20 times an episode. And you know what's funny? She's not even with Garth anymore. So now the next topic on the bus is sending nude pictures to a lover or a prospect. And of course, all the ladies are gonna say, oh, I don't send nude pictures. Well, over here, I mean, it just seems like it's the gay way. Now, if I ever get famous, then yeah, I won't ever do it again. But ain't nothing wrong with it to me. So the ladies arrive to the winery, and oh God, even in the sunlight, I think Leah's outfit looks worse, actually. It's just so terrible. Now, not why, well, Ramona did recommend she change, so I can't say she don't have good friends, so yeah, she just don't listen. So as the ladies are sitting down, we're reminded that only 3 of them can actually drink. And Luann excuses herself from the table to go back to the bus to get her little fosé. Now, the way she is dependent on this is a little problematic because she's just replacing one vice with another. Because carrying around bottles of non-alcoholic rosé like it's your asthma inhaler is just not the look. So while she's away from the table, Leah asks Ramona and Sonja, like, is Luann okay coming here? Because it's a winery, she's only been sober for like a month. Ramona's like, she says she's fine. And we find out that Luann was the one who suggested the winery, which makes Leah think she's trying to prove something to all the ladies that she can go to the winery and not drink. All the ladies are back at the table, and Ramona actually this time remembers the server's name. So that gives Ebony the perfect segue to bring up her issue with Ramona. She's saying, Ramona, I love that you remember Lisa's name, and I just wanted to say, and then Ramona Herbston tries to cut her off like, oh, you know, I'm just having such a good time with you. Can you just tell me later? Leah's like, why tell you later? What's the difference? And I'm feeling the same way. You don't even know what Ebony's about to say. So Ebony calmly explains to Ramona about why the help is such a problematic term. Lets her know that in a historical context, how it is triggering for her as a Black woman. And it looks like Ramona is absorbing that, but she is being a little defensive as well. But Ebony's just saying it in a calm way. It's not aggressive. It's just, it really sucks that Ebony has to do all this just so, you know, people won't say, oh, it's the angry Black woman again, you know? So I feel for Ebony in this moment, but I'm glad that she's making it a teachable moment for Ramona, even though Ramona should know this by now. So Ramona tells her she appreciates her feedback on it and apologizes, and there's no argument there. So they're on the topic of the pandemic and talking about COVID again. Ebony's saying she had COVID, and then Leah's like, oh yeah, Ramona, you had it too, right? And Ramona was telling her experience of how she found out. And then Leah brings up, well, yeah, didn't you say you gave plasma? Sonja blurts out, no, she didn't. You didn't see it on Instagram. Leah is definitely trying to catch Ramona in a lie, or at least wants her to admit that she lied. And of course Ramona isn't going to do that. So Leah is referring to an article, the Daily Mail UK, as the producers are showing us, saying that she donated plasma. And Leah's like, did you or did you not? And Ramona will not answer a yes or no. Ramona is getting increasingly annoyed by how Leah is cross-examining her about whether she gave plasma or not. Now, all the ladies know that Ramona didn't give plasma, but Leah doesn't want to stop there. She's on her Kenya Moore shit. She wants to embarrass this woman, and she just wants her to admit it. And the way Ramona keeps dodging the question is hilarious, and the way it's annoying Leah is hilarious. Ramona tells her, can you just stop? And Leah's like, I'm not going to stop. Did you or did you not donate the plasma? I gave my statement to the press, so there you go. There you have it. It looks like Leah's asking the other ladies to back her up, but the other ladies don't care. They don't want no parts of that. Ebony is smart to keep her mouth shut too. Like, just, girl, this ain't my fight. This ain't my fight. It looks like she's already admitting it. What else do you want? Ramona is now giving Leah the death stare right now. She's not even saying anything. She's just staring at her. Like, it's so ridiculous right now that I can't help but find this funny. So classic Ramona, when she's getting put into a corner, she gets up from the table and walks away. And Ramona also calls Leah a vicious girl. As Ramona goes to the bathroom, now Leah is mad at everybody else at the table for not backing her up and calling Ramona out. Now, Leah, you can't get mad at everybody else. This isn't everybody else's fight. They don't care if she lied. You care. But she's saying it's fucked up that everybody doesn't care as much as she does. Oh my God, why am I so tickled this early in the morning? I want her to admit it. I can't even do it. One more time. Is Leah on drugs? I want her to admit it. She said she makes this face. I want her to admit it. What does she have against Ramona like that? You know, I think the reason why Leah's going so hard is because of last season when Ramona outed her that I think she had to go to rehab or something, or she had like a eating disorder, something along those lines. She outed her on that. So ever since then, she's had an axe to grind with Ramona. I wanted to admit it. Ebony is right about this. Like, what are you going to do? Like, you caught her in a lie. Now what? Now what? Just like with Kenya and Bolo and Portia. Like, okay, Portia, she fucked the stripper. Now what? As the ladies try to calm Leah down and assure her that she got Ramona, Luann gets up from the table to go check on her. So they follow Luann, and Ramona's in the bathroom, but Luann's calling out for her. Ramona says, I'm in the bathroom, for Christ's sakes. I'm having some trouble. Luann's like, do you need some help? And then she just yells, I'm having diarrhea. The look on Luann's face in that mask, and she gasped, literally. And she tells the clerk, I'm sorry you had to hear that. I lost it when I watched this the first time. I like this episode so far, like it's just been funny. Do y'all agree with me? Let me know in the comments. This was just like a funny episode because it was just so ridiculous. But Lord, Ramona has diarrhea. I really don't want that mental image right now. Luann gets back to the table and just lets all the other women know that Ramona is having diarrhea. What a great friend. Ramona now refuses to go back to the table, obviously. And Luann goes up to her and just asks, is she okay? And Ramona lies and says, oh, I'm just doing some documents right now, when she really just doesn't want to be held accountable by Leah. Ramona's a little sick of Leah's shit, so she goes back to the table though, and then Sonja gets up with her and they're just gonna go for a little walk. Leah, she's never gonna back down. She's like, I love how I'm the villain right now when she's the liar. So now we're with Ramona and Sonja, and they're talking away from the ladies, and she's just saying how sick of Leah she is and how she's trying to lie on her. Sonja is trying to bring up like cancel culture, but she keeps saying it's all cancellation something right now. It's cancellation. Sonja is basically trying to tell her, don't worry about Leah. You know, people always trying to cancel everybody these days. Don't let it bother you. But she's saying it in a Sonja way, which is not making any sense. I am so glad I didn't watch this episode high because this is bananas. Like, they are just being so goofy right now. Ramona just screamed to the top of her lungs in public. Everyone is just staring at her. Ebony's like, I'm not going over there. That is exactly what I would have said. Is it just me? Like, I'm not high right now, y'all, I promise. But this episode is hilarious. Now, we're 30 minutes into the episode right now, and Sonja, she's had a lot of rosé. So she's on the precipice of being tipsy right now. She's not tipsy yet, but she's going down that road. Now, the way Ramona just told Ebony that I like the way that you make your point without being aggressive or confrontational. I was thinking that's a little bit of a microaggression, a little bit, but it looked like Ebony didn't take it that way. So I'll allow it. So the ladies are about to go shopping and they're about to leave, but yeah, they still have lobster at the table and it looks like macaroons too. I love that Ebony is not too proud to put that shit in a napkin and throw it in her Birkin. We see each other. Okay, so we on the bus to the next stop and Sonja is now tipsy. Like tipsy Sonja, she gets chatty and the filter disappears. So they get to the first shopping spot and Sonja gets off the bus with the wine glass in her hand. And Ramona's like, girl, what are you doing? Takes the wine glass out of her hand and now she's concerned. She's saying she needs to pace herself. When your friends have to cut you off, you have a problem. She's the one that needs to stop drinking. This dry ass store they're going into, it looked like a little mini version of anthropology or something. So we find out that Heather is coming the next day, and poor Heather, she don't know what she about to go into because for some reason, Leah is gunning for her and just told all the ladies how she was talking mad shit about them. So yeah, next episode is gonna be something. Oh wow, Ebony used to be a Hooters girl? They even showed her picture as one. Wow. The come up, the glow up. So we're at the third store, and this one actually looks like they have decent clothing. So we actually see the black blouse that Luann wears in her confessional. And I actually like this on her. It looks really good. What I didn't realize was Luann bought Sonja the same one, and they both wore it together to dinner later in the evening. I didn't even realize that. So the ladies make it to dinner. Yeah, Sonja she's drunk. I think she's drunk now because now she just said that she don't like big dicks very loudly at the bar. And the other ladies just think it's a hoot. It's not a woman crying for help. It's not a woman with an addiction. They're just laughing right now. So the cameramen catch Luann outside. They zoom in on her smoking a cigarette. I'm guessing it's because it's bothering Luann that she can't drink and they're at a bar and they're all enjoying liquor right now, with the exception of Leah. So Luann says, well, I'm not giving up smoking. Like, I'm not giving up all my vices. Ebony lets the ladies know again, like, she is surprised that she's having this much fun around a group of white women. I mean, girl, we all surprised too. If I was in your situation, I was having this much fun, I would be surprised. Because there's been a lot of one-season wonders on this show that didn't fit in with these wives, and they were white. So as Ebony's talking to Ramona and Sonja, it's weird. They pan over to Leah and Luann's conversation, and then Leah's talking to Luann about, you know, how she's doing with the no drinking since they're at a bar. And Leah tries to nicely let Luann know that she's having another addiction with bringing this bottle of fake rosé around with her wherever she goes. Like, maybe that's a problem. And then Luann lets her know, well, you have a mocktail. And I was like, yeah, I can see that, but she's not bringing around a bottle wherever she goes so she can cope with not drinking. So I get what Leah's trying to say, and she's coming at a nice way. But I don't think Luann is being very receptive of it. So they're finally seated, and Sonja's at the table still talking crazy because she's drunk as fuck. And she said, I need a big bone. Is that PC? I don't want to be canceled. Like, she's been saying that a lot, and I'm thinking because she knows there's a black housewife on this season, she's subconsciously worried about being canceled. Like, you see how the alcohol is bringing the truth out? That's why I think she brought up being canceled. Ramona just snatches the rosé from Sonja. Finally somebody did it. She's like, girl, you need some food, and I'm glad Ramona's finally stepping up. Now Luann says, now why are you putting the drink in front of me? So then now Ebony grabs a glass of rosé and puts it by her, as Sonja tries to reach for it. This episode, I tell you. So now Leah brings up Heather's name again at the table. She's like, well, what are we gonna do tomorrow when Heather comes? And then she proceeds to read an article at the table of what Heather said about each of the ladies, particularly Ramona, Sonja, and Luann. Again, like I said, if y'all saw Heather's season and how the other ladies were acting, like, Heather was the voice of reason on her season. I didn't mean for that to rhyme. But yeah, that's why I like Heather. So it's just crazy that one of my faves is coming after Heather. Who the hell is she, that bitch? Damn, Luann, that's how you feel? So first she thinks of disinviting Heather from the Hamptons, but now they're all planning to ambush her ass. So the ladies are talking about what they're gonna do the next day, and again, Luann brings up her man, Garth, well, her man of the minute, Garth, and this annoys Sonja, and she's already 4, 5, 7 sheets to the wind. Like, she is pissed that Luann is bringing this man's name up. Can someone take that glass from Sonja? Why they gave it back to her? Child, after Luann gets off the phone with her man, Sonja tries to one-up her and dials her man on speakerphone. Everyone's like, what? She literally calls him just to say hello and just hangs up on him. Ebony is just looking on in judgment right now. She said she feels like she's in Alice in Wonderland right now, and that is a really good analogy. Sonja is just talking nonsense right now, and all the ladies are still encouraging this. Thank God the food came to the table. The ladies are trying to change the subject to get her to calm down. And then Sonja calls her boo thing again. And now she's talking to him saying, yo, my friends just think I'm out of it right now. What do you think? Ramona's face right now, looking on in terror, is just pure comedy. She has just told Ramona to shut the fuck up at least 5 times. So Ebony then asks Sonja to talk to her boo thing, and she hands over the phone to her. And thank goodness for Ebony. She's just trying to calm the situation down. She's talking to him. Oh, you work for JP Morgan, right? Yeah, I'm getting my mortgage with them. So as soon as she said that, Ramona says, well, you know, Wells Fargo has better interest rates than Chase. This sets Sonja off. She is cursing Ramona out right now. Oh my goodness. Ebony says, yes, Wells Fargo has a lower interest rate, but Chase is doing other things and it's too late. Sonja gets up from her chair and starts yelling at Ramona like bloody murder. This is my family! Yeah, it's getting out of hand. Oh my God, I just gotta freeze frame this, y'all. This is the look right now. Pure comedy. Pure comedy, y'all. And the episode ends on a cliffhanger to be continued after Sonja says, what is wrong with you? So yes, that's the end of the episode, and that was hilarious, y'all. I really enjoyed the 3rd episode much more than the 2nd one. And then Heather comes for episode 4, and I think it's gonna just go downhill from there. And yeah, we have the premiere of Beverly Hills tonight. I'm excited about that. I mean, we do have the Jersey reunion, but I mean, that's secondary. Anywho, y'all, make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see y'all for the next episode. Bye.